Hello, welcome back to our video series about digging deeper into your genealogy. I'm really excited about today's video. It's going to be probably the most unprofessional looking one because I'm just walking around with my own iPad to let you just get a little peek into the treasure that I've dug out of the basement and boxes and taken off of the shelves of my home. Now, how did all of this come to be? This is a stockpiling of what I was given and what I have found when I decided that I would like to be the curator of family history in our family. I put word out that I would love to at least scan anything that anybody has that would be of significance, and turns out that a lot of people have just been keeping boxes or drawers of things, really not using them, but knowing they shouldn't give them away. And when someone says, I would love to keep them all in one place and available for the family, people will just give you things. They will just give it to you. So this is a completely random smattering. You're probably thinking, well, this doesn't look like much. I just wanted to kind of spotlight what kinds of things you can get by asking, and also where you can go once you get a few of those things to continue to find more artifacts on your own. So in brief, I was given this 1890s album. It's velvet bound, really falling apart if I open it, so I won't open it, but it has an amazing clasp on it. I was given some old salt and pepper shakers about 4 generations back. Bronzed baby shoes, even a Liberty card from my grandpa in World War II. He was allowed to leave the ship and go off onto land. I was given my great-great-grandfather's glasses. This is another great-great-grandmother's high school, autograph book full of her notes from her friends, and there are lots of family names in there. Once I started researching, I found that, hey, there's more than just one family member here. Obituary cards on thick cardstock, original wedding pictures, letters from the War Department, World War II, land deeds, family Bibles, family memoirs. Lots and lots of work that was already done by other people that perhaps didn't have the substantiated documentation, but it was a really great jumping off point for me. And then just lots of other various things that kept me going. I took this picture that is of a family member in downtown Glassford. I don't think it has a year on it. And since a lot of my family is from Glassford and Timber Township, I kind of went on a Glassford hunt. And I hunted primarily in antique shops and, believe it or not, on eBay. And I'm going to do an upcoming video about eBay and other sites that sell items of historical value, because, wow, I have found a lot. I would encourage you to view that video when it is up, because I think that you'll find that it's very surprisingly easy to find things that are meaningful. This is one of those items. It's a 1901 Glassford Gazette, which is their town paper that's been going for, well, a long time. And it came in great condition. I am sure that I didn't pay more than $10 or $20 for it. And some of these other things I've also been able to get to go off of lines that I wanted to keep researching. I got particularly interested when I was given this book about Peoria postcard history in finding postcards on eBay and antique shops where they are plentiful, and was able to kind of continue to up my Glassford collection. This one actually, believe it or not, had family members in my line writing to each other, and postmarked in the early 1900s. So that was really exciting. I found a postcard from, I believe, 1907 that is at the church we were married in downtown Peoria, and just continued to find things that meant something to me and where I came from. I'm a Bradley grad. That was a nice colorized postcard that was never even post-stamped. The original Peoria High School. I'm a grad of there. So it was really, really fun. I continued to get things like the newspaper from 1914 from my high school that I graduated from, and continue to dig and continue to improve. I found this photograph amongst my grandmother's belongings when she passed. It's of her grandparents, and the little guy in front is her father. And I actually had my father-in-law, who did restoration, clean it up a little bit, and make extra copies for us so that we could frame it and see it better. So that was kind of a fun project. And then I got to the bottom of a box that my aunt had, and I had gone all the way to Seattle with her, and I began finding things that said Civil War, and I about leaped out of my chair. When I opened this, it was just like this. It had a note on there from my great-grandfather to give to my grandmother. It had a lot of jibber-jabber that didn't make any sense to me as a 20, 30-year-old something. And then I really got to looking closely. I noticed that it was an 1864 Civil War discharge paper for one of my direct grandfathers. That was very exciting. It was equally as exciting to find his widow's pension paper. After he passed, she was able to get a widow's pension, and it listed children's names and birth dates, original handwritings. This was sitting in a box in Seattle. So I encourage you to get curious. Think about what it would be a shame if the next generation or your next generation of grandchildren, their grandchildren, never knew or never saw. Now, this is a square nail in a piece of wood from the farm in my family. They have this orchard. It's original from their orchard. The farm was hit by a tornado, and we found square nails all over the yard when we were cleaning up. The house has later been demoed. It was hit so badly, but to walk away with one of the original square nails from the Civil War era house is great. It will be a piece that I hope my kids continue to pass down and tell the story about. So what's the story? What is the story? What do you have physically that you can use as pieces of your story? Who do you have in your family that can help you tell the story? I encourage you to take videos of them talking, record Zoom calls, or however you're going to communicate, because down the road eventually you're going to have some brick wall in your research that doesn't quite make sense, and perhaps it will be Aunt Betty's conversation about the farm that makes you go in the right direction and know what records to start looking at to solve your little mystery. So get in touch with your people, get your stories, get your stuff together, document all of this, get everything digitized. You know, here's my grandparents when he was home from World War II. I should not be sitting here with the only physical copy of it. Scan it, share it on whatever websites you are sharing your genealogical research with the world, if that is your goal. Share it with your family. There's just so much out there. I know that in my research I have come across pictures of faces that we as a family did not have, but because someone else uploaded their family pictures, I now know what my great-great-great-grandfather looks like. It's fascinating. So the treasure hunt begins. Start cleaning out those closets and basements and attics. Make those phone calls. I'm telling you, this was exciting. I wish you luck.